there needs to definitely be some sort of shift in the mentality of we need to support each other a little bit more. We need more of a community aspect. I want to create some sort of community, and I want it to be supportive, because people see the industry as so lonely, and it can be, but we need to be more supportive with the people who are around and how we interact with people, because not everyone's going to agree with what you do or how you do it, and that's fine. You're allowed different beliefs.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the podcast Fly with Mel. I use this podcast to talk about all the personal development that we can get by living far from home. I tell some stories, but most of the time I invite people that I meet along the way to share their own. This podcast is an open door to the world, because I truly believe that everyone you meet has something to teach you. So I invite you to take a seat and enjoy the flight. Bonjour, Jackson.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So today I wanted to have you on the podcast to talk about ego, confidence, and how we can balance both together in the fitness industry or somewhere else, like in your personal life, professional life, etc.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited.
Just for a little context, so I met Jackson at the gym, your personal trainer.
Yeah.
So we're gonna say a bit more about you and what you do. But before starting every podcast, I usually do an icebreaker, which means like 3 things that define you, so that the audience can just imagine a bit more who is Jackson. So can you just give us 3 things that define you?
I'm gonna go 3 things or 3 values that I have that define me, because I've been doing a lot of that lately. So I'm gonna go with work ethic. I'm gonna go with confidence, and I'm gonna go with passion. Okay. Those would be the 3 things that define me mostly, inside and outside of my work and personal life.
Okay, so we can imagine you with values. That's great.
Yeah.
Love that.
I'm big on values.
That's really good. Do you have a quote that, like a motto or a quote that...
I wouldn't say that, but I think that a person who doesn't have values doesn't know themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of inner work and
try to, yes.
That's
try
great.
To.
We're gonna talk about that. I'm interested now. So can you just tell us, what do you do? How do you identify yourself?
If anyone asks what I do, I say I'm a personal trainer. But I'm hoping that in the future I become more than just a personal trainer. I want to become an educator. But what I do at the moment is I work out at Fitness First in Bondi Junction, and I basically live there.
Day and night training.
And I would say I'm a fitness enthusiast.
Okay.
For now. Yeah.
What does it mean exactly?
I wake up and I think about training, and I go to sleep and I think about training. But I think about how I can improve, how I can make my clients reach their goals.
Okay.
Look, PT, at the end of the day, we're motivators. That's what we do. Where as much as people don't want to hear it, we are a motivator.
Definitely, and yeah, you kick the ass of people. I can see that. I think it's great to have a coach when you need like this kind of motivation, but also the education. And you were talking about that just before.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to learn how to do weight training, for example, and why you're doing it, and like what is the science behind it, and how you can shape your body in different ways, but also like age longer or
Like at the end of the day, like I have a coach. And I'm a coach. Like I think everyone who steps inside a gym, at some point should have a coach. I think everyone should have a coach in general. But I know it's a luxury. It's a cost, and I'm aware of that. But like everyone should have one, because it just not only teaches you how to train in the gym, but it teaches you how you should be treating your time in the gym, and like the mentality you should have behind training and guidance. Because everyone has a goal. No one signs up to the gym because I just sign up to the gym. Everyone has some sort of goal, and I've been in that gym for 2 years now, and I don't mean to be rude or entitled here, but I've seen a lot of people come in and they haven't seen progression, whether that means not just based on how they look, but how they carry themselves and how they train and the intent they have when they train. And I'm like, okay, so why are you here? You clearly keep showing up every single day for a reason, but it's like you're not progressing. It's like why are you coming in? Why aren't you doing more? Or like what's missing? And that's my job. Connect the dots. What's missing? Find a solution.
Yeah. No, that's great. But I feel like your job is also to be an observer. No,
100%. Like that's what I do. I analyze people in the gym, and like, of course I judge. I need to find people who fit my brand. If you don't fit my brand, and there's been times I sit down with people, I'm like, hey, we're not a fit. we're not going to work well together. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you what to do. And some people don't like that. And like, I'm not going to sit there and say, you have to do this. No, I work with the person. Say, hey, what do you think we can do better here? And some people don't want to do that. And some people are not in their fitness journey yet, where they're willing to sit down and be picked apart and analyze what they're doing that can be improved. Because there's nothing wrong. You can't do anything wrong. It's just basically like, how can we make it better? How can we make it more efficient to suit your lifestyle?
I feel like you definitely know what you want to do, what is your brand, how you want to shape your whole like marketing and business.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to know what made you become a personal trainer. Like maybe if we come back to Jackson when Jackson was 10 years old, what did you want to do when you were younger?
Anyone who knows me knows that I change my mind more than I change my clothes.
Okay.
Like, I am very indecisive, but it's also part of the reason I think I have some success.
Okay.
Because when I put my mind to something, it's just go. But when I was 10 years old, I had no idea I'm pretty sure the first thing I ever wanted to do was become an engineer. But anyone who also knows me knows that that's definitely not something I could do. I could never have had a desk job. And I had a lot of jobs. Like, I've had a lot of jobs. I reckon off the top of my head, I've had about 20 different jobs. Wow. And I'm 23? Yeah. So
how did you do that? Did you have like a second life or something?
No, I just skipped between jobs because if I make a joke like that I'm ADD, but I'm not. But like, I have the attention span of a goldfish. So when I was doing these jobs, I was like, if I didn't like it, I was out. So like, the first job I ever had, I worked at Kmart. And I hated it.
Okay.
But then from there, I just kept changing jobs. I went from labouring to construction. I did plumbing for a little bit. I did carpentry. I did landscaping. I've done bartending, and I've done all these things. And I've really had to figure it out. And if anything, my biggest influence was, if anyone who is in the fitness industry knows James Smith, he was a big influence on personal training, and I could see the difference that he was making on people's lives, and I was like, okay, this is something I can get around.
Okay, and so James Smith made you...
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was the only reason. Like, I've always loved personal training, and I've always loved training myself. I did martial arts for 5 years, and I was already teaching. I literally lived in Thailand for a couple months to pursue a career in martial arts and Muay Thai. So training was already a big part, but that was, I guess, just the big push over the edge. But I always knew that coaching of some sort, like, once I started doing teaching in martial arts, I was like, oh yeah, I like this. Like, I got fulfillment instantly from doing it. When I was like coaching kids or even adults, I was like, okay, this is a place where my age doesn't matter, my appearance doesn't matter. Fitness industry, it does surely, but like, in that moment, it's like, people aren't listening to me for how I look sometimes, but people are listening to me because of the knowledge that I have. And I'm like, okay, I like this. I can see improvement in people just instantly from when you were to say something was like, okay, like, I like this. This is good. I get fulfillment out of that.
That's amazing. Why you didn't stay in Thailand and fulfill like this career? And
it just wasn't what I wanted to do. I mean, not to get too into the politics side of things, but just like, it was I wasn't living. Like, when people say Thailand, they think like, oh, like beautiful beaches and all that sort of stuff, but it wasn't. I was living in Bangkok, and it was like towards the end of like the suburbs, so it was like rural area, and it was like, I was 18, 19 at the time. Like, I wasn't ready to be away from everyone. I realized, being in a third world country, not knowing a single person, it was definitely an eye-opening experience, but also I was getting pushed mentally and physically every single day, and I was like, okay, this is what it takes to be that. And I realized that it just wasn't what I wanted to do. Not only that, I was going through a lot of intense training, and I was like noticing like I'd getting blood noses every day. I was getting probably concussions every day. I was like, I don't want to be 40 years old and have a kid and be punch drunk or have brain trauma. I'm like, this is not for me. Like, it's just not. And I didn't love it anymore. Not only that, I got really sick when I was there.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, like, I have a choice here. I remember going home and I was crying, and I was like, spoke to my friend, and she's like, pack your bag. And she goes, if you still want to wake up in the morning and go, then just go. Wow. So I booked a flight, and I woke up in the morning, and I'm like, I still don't want to be here. Because I knew if I stayed after that, I was all in. And I was planning to be there for the year. So yeah, I've spoken about this on another podcast before as well, but yeah, it's just like if it wasn't for me, like it wasn't what I was supposed to do. I got back and I actually was in a bad way when I got back for quite a while, probably like spent a year, maybe less. I was like, oh yeah, I'll go do my Cert 3 and 4, but I didn't have like, you hear me speak now and I'm so clear in where I want to go, what I want to do and the mission that I have, but it's like before that I was just like, yeah, I'll go do PT because it's like the next best thing. Now I understand what my real motives were at the time, but it was just like, yeah, I'll go do that. And I worked at reception at a Crunch Fitness and like I was just partying and drinking every weekend and I didn't really like have a clear goal of what I wanted to do. I just knew that I had to stay in fitness.
Well, you were young and you're still, so I guess it's part of life as well to just like do this kind of thing.
Yeah, I was like just making the casual 19, 20-year-old mistakes that you do.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's mistakes. It's like it's part of life. We need to do that to learn and to exactly, as you said, you're saying now, to exactly know what you want in life after and what you don't want anymore. Your experience in Thailand made me think like you had to build resilience at a young age, I would say. Yeah. What's the biggest lesson you've taken from it and that you apply maybe today in your training or in your personal life?
Oh, I don't regret it for a second. And I think the biggest thing is that if I have a goal, to just make the leap and do it. Like just to, sort of like, because not a lot of people agree with me going, like my family and stuff. I come from an Italian family. So like the 18-year-old son leaving to go to a third world country isn't exactly a great conversation to have with your parents. Okay. So like I think it was the ability to block out what everyone else thought and just to do what I wanted to do no matter what. And even now, like some of my friends, I wouldn't say my friends now, but in the past, they were like, you know, and even my family were like PTs on a real job. And it was a big stigma, more so further back, but it's not so much anymore. But like when you tell people you being a PT, they're like, oh, even now in sessions, people are like, do you do this full time? And I'm like, yeah, like this is my full-time job. They're like, bit shocked.
Why?
Yeah, but just doing the ability to just do what I want and not think about what other people think or say is just probably the biggest thing I took away from it.
Okay, but so where does this whole motivation comes from?
Well, as we've spoken about in the past, it comes from ego. Yeah. So,
ego. We're gonna deep dive into that, but yeah.
So I have a pretty big ego. But
I can feel it from here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm learning to control it. It's ego, as you've said. It's like it can drive you and it can motivate you, but it can also cripple you. So I think there's a fine line of being able to balance that.
Exactly, and I feel like especially in the fitness industry. So not only in the fitness industry, but because you're coming from there, we can feel that a lot, and sometimes we can be a bit confused between having ego and having a lot of confidence, motivation, yes. Self-esteem and all this kind of thing. So I would love to hear a bit more about your thought on that. What do you think about this, like ego versus confidence at the gym, for example?
I think everyone needs to have some level of ego to them to drive them to do what they want to do. And I think there's a fine line, as I said before. It's like you can let it drive you and help you and be a driving force in your life to be like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do what I need to do no matter what it is. But then it can also be like, okay, but I don't think I'm better than anyone. Like I don't think that in the slightest. And being in a gym, such a big gym, like we have like over thousands of members at that gym that we train at in Bondi. And I always say to people, when you walk in, it's like you walk into Instagram. Like you literally walk into an explore page on Instagram. And that's what it's like. And that can be very crippling and that can be very overwhelming for a lot of people, including myself. When I started there, I was like, how the hell am I going to run a business here? I have no clients. I don't know anyone. And everyone here looks freaking amazing. Can I swear?
You can.
Okay. So yeah, it's like really hard because you need to come across as a confident person in the fitness industry. Otherwise people don't take you seriously. And you have to be very careful with how you speak to others and how you speak about yourself, because you know, being authentic is also really important, because the industry, as we know, is so saturated, and people like to use that word, but there's not a lot of authenticity in the industry. People who are just themselves. Everyone's got washboard abs, big ass, fake lips, and a massive...
Thank you for giving the secret.
which is great. Like people aspire to be like that, but I guess also, at least me personally, although I want people to look their best, what their best may look like isn't exactly what it is portrayed at in the industry. For me, people's best might just be, they train 3 times a week, they're able to drink on the weekends with their friends and family, and they can come in and lift a decent amount of weight and take their shirt off after training and be somewhat happy with how they look. To me, that's usually what people want. And it's like, people come into a gym like that and they see, okay, their expectations are super high because they compare themselves to what everyone else looks like. But also the industry is filled with steroids and fake plastic, and if you want to go do those things, I don't care. Like, it's each to their own. And I think, I have nothing against those people, but I think to the general population, it can be very overwhelming and disheartening. And you see it, like, as you said, my job is to observe. I see those people that come in and like don't go to a certain area in the gym because all the big guys or the jacked girls are there. It's like, we need to be in an environment that's more supportive and more cultural and more community based, which I've mentioned to you is exactly what I'm creating, a community.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that just after. Thank you for sharing all of this. It's like, I feel like when you talk to a personal trainer, sometimes it's like an eye opener to all the things that you can see. Like, my personal story in this gym exactly is when I started at this gym, I was like super scared about touching the machine, not knowing what I was doing, and super scared about people judging me. But at the end of the day, you realize that nobody is watching you. People are watching themselves.
Yeah, people are way too concerned with what they look. Even me, when I'm training, like, I got headphones in, like, I'm only focused on me.
Yeah.
Maybe, because I work there when I train, I obviously observe because I need to find business, and that's part of the job. But like, take it from someone who literally lives inside that gym, like, no one actually cares. And if they do, then, they probably got bigger issues. Because, like, let's face it, those people who are looking at themselves like non-stop have more insecurities than probably the person who's too scared to go up to the weights area, because this industry is ridiculed with insecurities. Most PTs are the most insecure people, and even myself, like, this is something I'm open with, that there's a side to fitness that isn't shown, which is like the mental health side, because it's so important, because we're so fixated with appearance, but people aren't fixated enough with how are they actually feeling. So being aware of how you're actually feeling as well is really important, especially as a PT, because you need to be able to empathize and sympathize with your clients, which is something that I really try to do, because everyone has busy lives. Like, I get to spend 12, 14 hours in a gym. No one else gets to do that. Like, literally no one.
And you still keep a smile on your face when you're saying hello to people. I know. No, but that's great. That's great. I feel like it's coming back to ego and maybe even happiness. Happiness is coming from you, like within yourself, and you have to do this inside job, because when you're coming to the gym to take your shirt off and to show off and pride, at the end of the day, is it for you or is it just to show off for others? Are you comparing yourself to others all the time, and are you trying to have attention from others? So it's more about like maybe focusing a bit more about yourself and what are the reasons of your training. And I guess you're asking that to your clients. It's like, are you here for yourself, for your own motivation, your own goals, and have a sustainable life? Or is it for others and show off at the end of the week at the party? And
I think there's nothing also wrong with wanting to show off how you look, because at the end of the day, that's where that confidence sort of comes in as well. Like, I think, and PTs aren't perfect either. We all have our own motives as well as to why we do things, and sometimes they're not the best. But like, I think there's nothing wrong. Like, when I sit down with a client and they say, I want to lose weight, you always have to dig deeper, because there's always a more deeper reason. It's like, why do you want to lose weight? Oh, because I want to feel good. So do you not currently feel good about yourself? No. Why? Because I don't like the way that I look. And there's always a deeper meaning. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with someone wanting to feel good about the way they look, or feeling confident, or being, one of the biggest things I hear, or like that I know, is like, a question that I ask in a consultation is, how do you feel trying on new clothes? It's like something so simple can really like unravel such big issues behind that. And I'm not a psychologist, like, not in the slightest. I don't claim to be, but there is a psychological side to this, and it's like, maybe your goal is to, next time you go and try on clothes, that you feel good about yourself, and next time you go to the beach with your friends, you're not wearing a one piece, you're wearing a bikini. And that is a very achievable goal, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think we should have that confidence to be able to take our shirt off whenever we want, or wear a bikini at the beach. I think that's great. I think you could have that confidence to do that. Then, I've done my job correctly and I've done it well, and that's what I want to help people do as well.
I love it. I feel like, yes, okay, you're not a psychologist because you don't have the certification, but you have to be a good listener and also have this kind of emotional intelligence to read behind the words.
Yeah.
So exactly as you're saying, when a client comes to you and says something, you have to also try to unravel everything and really have the real thing that is inside. And sometimes it's related to mental health and insecurities. And I was doing some research about this podcast yesterday. And I was like, I want to find something that I don't know about, and maybe I can educate people on this, on a word, on an expression. And I wanted to know if you know the meaning of ego lifting.
Oh, yes. So ego lifting, okay, so I have actually a good analogy I can use for this. So ego lifting is when someone was to come in and has absolutely no right to lift a certain amount of weight, or they do it for a reason that is just to show off. Mm-hmm. So let's say, for example, you're in the gym and someone's just like terrible form, can hurt themselves, just puts on 200 kilos on the bar, and they lift it for no apparent reason other than they want to just feel good about being the strongest guy in the gym, or they're trying to outlift someone next to them, or they just want everyone to sit there and watch them. Now, I think that is quite silly, but the way I always explain it is that if we're at the park and actually one of my friends told me about this as well, and he said it to me, and I'm going to repeat him. Adrian,
Hi, Adrian.
I'm going to give him credit for this. He goes, like, if we're at the park and there's a rock over there and it weighs 200 kilos and I tell you to go lift it, you're going to tell me to get fucked because you have no right or you have no reason to want to lift that weight. I mean, some people might because, hey, ego. But like, you're not going to do it because you're like, why would I go lift up that rock that weighs 200 kilos? Like, that's just stupid. So why are you going to walk into the gym and then do the exact same thing but on a barbell when you have no right to do it? Something that's really, really big is like you need to like sort of build up to these things and earn the right to lift that weight. Like, is really, really important as well. And I learned that from one of my mentors, Sebastian Oro, Australian strength coach. He quotes that. It's like, you need to earn the right to add weight to the bar. And that's really important to me because when people come in and they want to lift this weight, and there's been times in sessions that to say, hey, pull the weight back because you can't lift that. Mm-hmm. And you need to be able to lift with technique. And this is where coaching really comes in. It's like you need to adjust to the stimulus, or you need to adjust to the weight. You need to be able to learn with the technique, and you need to build up to those things. It's sort of like going into a new job as well. Like, you don't just get the CEO position when you haven't even worked below that. Mm-hmm. You need to build up and earn your right to be that in that job and that position.
Yes.
That's ego lifting.
Ego lifting. Okay, thank you for that. So we will watch all the guys who are lifting too much and hurting themselves. And I guess also, it leads to injuries and a lot of...
it leads to injury. Your ego gets bruised as well if you screw it up, and I've seen that happen as well. But it's not safe, and you don't look. No one actually cares. Like, of course. Like, let's be real. Being a PT myself and knowing, like, I've lifted some okay weight, and I remember like just being out sometimes. Like, no one gives a fuck about how much I can squat.
No, we don't give it. Like, we don't really care. And you know what? Like, we really care about something. I mean, personally, I really care when people are screaming in the gym, and I'm like, are they okay? Is this guy okay? I'm not like, oh my god, this is amazing. I'm just like, oh my god, is he okay?
Look, there's a time and a place for that sort of stuff. Like, I don't train always at Fitness First. I train at another boutique gym, and that environment definitely sometimes is created with the energy and the screaming and the testosterone fueled training, and it's like, there's a time and a place for it, and especially if you're competing in powerlifting or something like that, or you're training for a specific reason, then by all means, you probably earned the right to add weight or do that weight anyway. But like, if you're in a commercial gym, tone it down a bit.
Did you do some ego lifting sometimes?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, when I was younger, I was like just I would walk in and do a 1 RM each day. So I've been there. It's like, I come from with the experience, knowing that it's not great. And like, even when I did that, I had someone guiding me, as well. And it was like so silly now that I think of it. I was like trying to lift the most amount of weight each week because I was obsessed with getting stronger, and I still am. But like, it wasn't necessary. Now that I have a bit more of an understanding of how to program and stuff like that, you kind of get that you don't need to be doing that.
And you have all the education now around.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to talk about social media. You mentioned it before, Instagram especially, and all the other different platforms. I feel like social media had infiltrated a lot the fitness industry.
Yeah.
People want to look and feel a certain way because they saw that online, and they keep scrolling their feed and they keep trying to push themselves to become that person or that person, and maybe sometimes that person that they see online had just a surgery or not the real knowledge, or is not sharing the real story behind the post and the images. I also we are having too much information coming from different people, so sometimes you can feel a bit lost and overwhelmed, especially for people who are not personal trainer and who are not learning the knowledge that you are having. How should we approach that?
Look, I think one of the best things that can happen is that we have more information than ever. I think that's the beauty of social media. And when I was started training 15, 16, I think social media was just starting to boom. And before that was more so blogs and bodybuilding.com and all those sort of things. That's where my early information started. I started absorbing, and then slowly went from Instagram, Facebook to YouTube and that sort of stuff. And now TikTok as well is a big one. So I think social media is awesome to the amount of knowledge we have that, but it's it's also overwhelming, and it's a plethora of sort of stimulus to the brain of how much we're taking in. And I think you need to take what you see with a grain of salt, because even the experts who are evidence-based, science-based, and the ones who have the knowledge to help you and make you improve in your knowledge and training, at the end of the day, when it comes to social media, it's you just need to do what is correct scientifically, but also what works for you, and just make sure that you come in and train hard. But also the other side of where influencers come in, and they're most of the time, everyone on social media, including myself, is always trying to promote some sort of product. I'm promoting my coaching, I'm promoting who I am as a PT, so you'd work with me, and there's no doubt about that, and you can see that. And everyone else is trying to do the same thing. Now, whether someone's trying to promote their self or someone else's product, it's being done. And you need to take what you see with a grain of salt, because even myself, I have probably a 3-hour gap in the day where I dedicate to my training. Not to say I train for 3 hours, but I block out 3 hours of my day just to train. No one else gets to do that. Other people on social media, their life is training and their life is eating correctly. Not only that, as we've mentioned before, performance enhancing drugs is a big one. Surgeries, all that sort of stuff, performance enhancing drugs is also massively not spoken about. It's is this person natural or not? It's probably not. I used to think, my friends make fun of me because they're oh, you think everyone's not natural. I'm yeah, because they're probably not. Everyone on social media has done it in the past, or probably is taking it, and those ones who are sponsored by some sort of product and trying to promote, of course they're going to do it. I probably would too. If I was in a position where someone's I'll pay you millions of dollars to promote my product, but you got to look like this all year round. It's okay, why not? I mean, they sold out, but you know what? They're making a lot of money right now. And obviously, money's not the only reason people do things, but it is a big motivator. So when you're on social media, especially these general population people, this is where the mental health aspect comes in. It's I need to look like that. Mm-hmm. It's do you have 3 hours a day to dedicate to your training? Do you have all the time in the world to prepare your food? Are you willing to take performance enhancing drugs, which is not safe? Okay, let's just get that clear. It's not safe. There are safer ways of doing it, but it's not a healthy thing at all. And I think social media is also forcing kids younger who are around my age and 16, 17, I see on TikTok or Instagram, kids younger than me, lifting more than me, more jacked than I am, and
which type of drug it is, for example?
Testosterone is the biggest one. There's different compounds you can take as well, which have a more of an enhanced effect. But all these things, you're fucking with your hormones. For example, even the girls, imagine not having your period for 2 years. That's a big one as well. People who take hormones and diet for long periods of time can lose their period, fuck with their hormones. And for example, females, when they take testosterone, it's their Adam's apple becomes more prominent, their jaw becomes more prominent, and they lose sort of some of their female genitals, their breasts can start to deteriorate a little bit as well. So it's their voice deepens, they grow hair, more facial hair, or hair in other areas as well. So it's like, it's not, there's a dark side to it as well. And even men, like bodybuilders, which is a different category in its own because that's their job, but like it does end your life like sooner, because people who are bigger don't live as long. The bigger you are, you're probably, you know, it's like, what's that, there's like I heard this from a coach as well, and he goes like, in the wild, bigger animals die first. So like the lions and the elephants and all them, they die before the smaller animals, because it's not healthy to be that big. And yes, like I'm trying to get bigger as well, but like you need to understand the health precautions before you do these things, especially kids who are 16, 17, 18, who are fucking with their hormones when they're not even fully developed yet. It's not healthy at all. Like you need to be really careful. And I've sucked into it as well. I haven't done steroids at all, but like it's definitely something I've battled with mentally. I've been like, should I do it? Like I want to get bigger. I want to look better. It's like, it's not worth it.
Ego.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, you need to be really careful with where you're getting your information from and who you're absorbing from. Because if you're constantly looking at someone who looks the way you want to look constantly, then obviously you're going to fall into that trap. And as well as like, it's very lucrative as well these days to look that way, because more likely to get more followers, more likes, possible sponsorships. And, you know, there's a big culture coming through at the moment where young kids are jacked.
Yeah. True. It's a really big spiral, and I feel like it's the fitness industry on Instagram, or like I will just pick up Instagram because this is where I usually find my information. I feel like it's very, very rude. People are destroying each other's, not only PT and coaches, maybe influencers, you know, like sometimes someone will say something and another guy will just take the video, put the video on their account and destroy that person. And I feel like, for me, from my personal experience, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like nobody can have the real answers. You can have answers based on science, but again, it's also like about how your body will react to something. So this is very rude to see that on social media as well, because it's not only about having too much information, feeling overwhelmed, but it's also about seeing the fitness industry not as a community and not as something that is like where you should feel safe and welcome and comfortable to ask questions and, you know, to try to...
I think, like, you know, some people might disagree with me on this, but like we don't actually have all the answers in terms of how to train someone effectively. Like, yeah, we have a lot more than we did before, but like everyone is so different, and like all we're doing is we're making educated guesses. Like, and some people might disagree with me on that. Like, yes, there's a lot more information out there than ever on how we can train people more optimally or efficiently or effectively, and yes, but like, what might work for me might not work for someone else. And there's more than one way to skin a cat, definitely. And I think what is wrong as well is like, we're the only industry in the world where that we tear people down by the way you train them. Like, let's say, for example, you know, you've got this podcast set up here, right? And another person with a better or a different podcast setup is like, no, why the fuck are you doing it like that? You should be doing it like this. How dare you? I hate you for that. So because no, exactly. It's like we're the only industry where people are like, no, fuck you. Why are you doing a bench press? You're so dumb for doing a bench press. Like, can you, like, if you say that out loud, think about how dumb that is. That some other coaches are putting people down because they just think that one exercise might be better for another person. It's like, just who cares? It's an exercise, or it's a method, or it's a way to do things. Whether it might not be right or wrong. If it works for them, who cares? And you know what? Like, the thing is people should just be focusing on themselves rather than what other people are doing. And like, you can either knock people down or you can bring them up. And I think that's what's really missing in the social media world and the fitness industry, is just more of a community and supportiveness. And it's like, you know what? I might not agree with what some people are doing with their clients. As long as they're not getting injured and they're not getting hurt and they're safe and they're getting results, then who cares? Like, let them do what they want. And there are so many overweight people in the world. There is enough for everyone. Like, even me, when I started coaching, I was like, oh, like, you know, they're getting more clients than me. Like, fuck them. Like, no, who cares? Get the client. Like, there's enough for everyone, especially in our gym. There's like over 5,000 members in that gym. Like, there is enough clients for everyone to go around. Like, it's not a big deal. So like, there needs to definitely be some sort of shift in the mentality of, we need to support each other a little bit more. We need more of a community aspect, which is, I've said community a few times because, like, me personally, that's what I want to create. Whether I have a gym, whether I have an online space, whether I have an app, whatever it is that I do in the future, I want to create some sort of community, and I want it to be supportive, because people see the industry as so like so lonely, and it can be, but we need to be more supportive with the people we're around and how we interact with people, because not everyone's going to agree with what you do or how you do it, and that's fine. You're allowed different beliefs.
We need more compassion.
Yeah, exactly.
More love and more support, and being supportive to each other. This is how you bring back up the confidence to, welcome everyone, and nobody is better than another, and just can be lifted all together, and you put the ego on the side a bit. So what is exactly the purpose of your community, the thing that you want to do? Like, what are the values and the purpose of it?
I guess I've got this in my Instagram bio. So,
okay.
So like my
let's bring your Instagram.
Yeah. My goal is like I want people to live a healthy life through this is not quoting it, but like through like looking better, building confidence, and being stronger. And I think looking better, being stronger is where the confidence will come in, because and the other people in that environment who are supportive of that will bring that up as well. So like for me, I wanted my clients to be able to interact with each other. Like I do Christmas parties like with my clients because I want them to meet each other. I don't want them to just be like, oh, you're another paying customer. It's like, no, we're all trying to do the same thing. I train people from all different shapes and sizes, ages, genders, and beliefs or whatever it might be. And I want them all to come together and be like, oh, hey, we all train with Jackson. It's like we all clearly share some interest together, and they all have different jobs. It's like the fitness industry can be a place where all those things don't matter. It's just like you all have the same goal and you all just want to get better. I think when I trained at a CrossFit gym for a year, they nailed it, because I didn't actually enjoy the training that much. Because it was so hard. Like CrossFit is a hard sport. It's a very mentally challenging sport, which is also what I liked about it. But like some of the workouts, I was like, fuck this, why am I here? And then I turned around and I looked around and I'm like, hold on a minute. Everyone is pushing themselves. Everyone is training hard. Everyone is going for it. And I'm like, okay, this is motivating. Like that. And then after that, we'd all go get a drink after. We'd all go get coffee after. It's like, or on the weekend, we'd all go hang out. And it's like, that is awesome. Like that's so cool. And I want to create that. It's like people to come to a place where they've all got a goal, and then they all share similar interest of health and fitness and wanting to get better. And then after that, they might go grab a drink after. It's like, it's a community. It's what I want to create. That's why people stick around. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it.
Exactly. Thank you. It's
Find your why.
I have it here. Find your why. Simon Sinek. Sorry,
yes, yeah.
Simon Sinek. I'll take care. I'm sure you will. You will definitely build your community, and I'm sure in 5 years or maybe before, you will listen to this podcast and say, "Oh, hang on."
Yeah, I hope so.
Can you share one secret from Jackson about a routine or something that you do daily that keeps you motivated, apart from your training? Ooh. Is there anything that you do?
Oh, like it's a tough one, because like I'm not gonna sit here and say, yeah, I meditate every day.
Why not? No.
I think
don't say something that you don't do.
I think those things are great. Like I think I've done meditation in the past. It's awesome. Journaling is also great, but it's like I've go in phases with it. Like I'll do 3 months of it, and then I'm like, okay, I don't feel like this is serving me a purpose anymore. I wouldn't say it's a routine. I'd say it's just something that I'm aware of. It's just mindfulness. Mm-hmm. It's just like being aware of how I'm feeling throughout the day, and like making sure, and like that sort of stuff. It's like, am I on track? Like scheduling, that's probably the big one. Organization, that's probably something that I'm really big on. It's like that I haven't been in the past. Like when I just started PT, I would organize a session and try and remember it. That didn't just work out very well for me. I ended up missing sessions and stuff like that. So like scheduling my day, which is something I'm big with on my clients as well. It's like, oh, like I'm struggling to find time in the gym. It's like, okay, are you scheduling your days? They're like, oh, not really. I'm like, okay, so you work, that's a locked in time every day. And it's like, are you scheduling like what you're doing after work, and when you're doing this and when you're doing that? It's like, to me, that's big. Like I use apps for helping me complete tasks, and then I use Google Calendar to help me know what I'm doing, where I'm going, and what I'm doing in my day. So I guess just being mindful of my own like brain and where I'm at, and then also just like making sure that I'm really on top of my schedule, because if I'm constantly on my schedule, then I know that I'm moving forward. Like being process focused rather than goal focused is really big for me. It's like just ticking the boxes every day and then seeing the end goal. Very similar to how you would with training. It doesn't matter what the end goal might be, but if you don't do the little things every single day to get you to that goal, then there's no point.
exactly. It's like see the little steps before seeing the whole.
Yeah. It's just each step, and then before you know it, you've made a complete journey.
I love that. I feel like you're very, very aware for your age. And as you said before, and I remember our first conversation before this podcast, we were saying that like the age doesn't really mean anything. It's more the experience in life that will shape you, shape your identity, shape everything around you. And that's what I feel with you. It's crazy. I feel like I'm talking I'm talking with someone who has a lot of experience in life, which is great. And I wish you all the best for all your project and your dreams. Like really. Can you remember exactly the session you did with your first client and who was the first client?
My first client was actually a friend of mine, Taylor, and it was terrible. I feel so bad for her. Like it was awful. It was just like me. Like the one thing that I had to realize real quick is not everyone is me and moves like me, and like I had to adapt to that and like really regress and pull exercises back straight, like really to the nitty gritty, like a beginner as possible type things. And yeah, it wasn't fun.
So funny. Do you feel like you learned a lot of patience also?
Oh yeah, 100% patience and just like trying to understand the client and know that not everyone is going to move really well, and you know, like everyone's built differently. We all have different biomechanical makeups. Like some people have long arms, some people have short arms, long torsos, short torsos, long legs, short legs. Like these are all things that come into play when it comes to movement, and certain movements suit a certain person, some don't. Not only that, people's history, injuries, have they played sports in the past? Like, you know, like for me, I adapted well to weights training because I've done so many different sports in high school, and I played sports, and I think that plays a big part into it as well, where a lot of the time the clients that I'm getting, it's like, you know, they sit at the desk all day. Mm-hmm. And they haven't played sports since they were like in high school, which was like 20 years ago. So like, yeah, they might be able to move somewhat, but like they're probably pretty like cramped up, or like, you know, haven't accessed those ranges of motions in a long time.
Same thing. Okay. Thank you, Jackson. Well, I enjoyed a lot the conversation. I feel like it went very fast.
Yeah.
And at the same time, a lot of, like, you said a lot of different things. I learned a lot. I feel even more confident to go to the gym now, and I feel like everyone is doing, like, nobody really knows what they're doing anyway, so we're just trying to do our best. Do you have a last advice that you would like to share to people who are really motivated to go to the gym but feel very overwhelmed about everything that is in this industry at the moment?
My best advice, and I'm not saying this just because I am one, but get a coach. Like, no, it doesn't even...
I'm going to share your details after that, Jackson.
It doesn't even need to be me. Like, if you're in... I mean, like, if you're in a local gym, whether you're in, like, this area or overseas or, like, further away, just find a coach and, like, go on their socials or, like, go and speak to them, and don't even tell them you're interested. Just have a conversation with them. And if you vibe with them, if you connect with them, and if you feel like they're a good fit for you, then do it. Mm-hmm. Because just... for me, the most influential people that have helped me with my business and my training and my mindset have actually been my coaches. Mm-hmm. Like, they've helped me the most. And you'll be surprised at the shit you tell your coaches when you train with them, whether they're face-to-face or online. You'll be surprised with how much you open up to them and how much you tell them and how much faith and belief you put into them and how much they help you. And especially if they're a good one, all they want to do is help you. Like, you have a problem, they have the solution, or they're trying to give you a solution, and they work with you. So that's my biggest piece of advice. I think everyone should have a coach. I think everyone should have some guidance. You know, just like anything. If you want to go learn a topic in school, or you want to go learn a topic, you go study for it. You go get someone who knows the subject. Coaches know the subject. You want to learn about it, go get a coach. For how long do you take a coach? Do you keep a coach, do you think? I have a minimum 12 weeks. Okay. Because usually after 12 weeks is when you start seeing some result. But I think at least stick with someone for at least 6 to 12 months. Okay. And do you have the same coach for yourself? Like, yeah, so I've recently had a new coach. So I've been with this coach now for around 8 weeks, and I love it. But my goals have recently changed. That's the only reason I've changed coach. But yeah, I've had some great coaches, and they've taught me a lot. You have a lot of goals. I feel like, where do you see yourself in, let's say, 3 years? I think, like, my goal is to not be in a commercial gym after 3 years. I want to be sort of like coaching more online. I want to be able to live that lifestyle where I'm able to travel a little bit more, and I want to like just connect with more people and sort of go on a bit of a journey where I can expand my knowledge on training and travel a little bit and go to other gyms and other cultures in different countries with training and how they train, and just network, I guess you could say. Because my end goal is I want to have my own gym. Now, I know people say it's ridiculously expensive, there's a lot of overheads for it. It's like, I don't care.
Don't listen.
That's my goal. I wanna have some sort of social media presence. I want to create a community, and who knows, maybe like have an app one day, and casual fitness things. Like everyone's got an app these days. Everyone's got a gym these days. It's like, yeah, but like I feel like if I have a good purpose and I have a good reason as to why I do it, then it will stand out.
Yeah, and there is a place for everyone on this planet.
Exactly,
We're enough people to just like, follow Jackson or not follow Jackson, so that's fine. You'll have all of this. I love what you're saying about traveling and trying new cultures and other gyms, because I feel like it's coming back to what we said about confidence and ego. When you learn about other people, and for example here in Bondi it's the eastern suburbs in Sydney, and when you go to, for example, I guess Cronulla or a bit less in the east, the atmosphere is different. Maybe even people feel more welcome, even if it's in the gym or just with coaches. I feel like maybe some people are less arrogant and more trying to help, because it's just the culture, so if you go outside of this country, I'm sure you will. As you did in Thailand.
Associating yourself with the right people, and like even if there's people that I meet that I don't necessarily align with, maybe there's something that I could take away from them. Like the industry is so big, there's so many different characters and voices that I can learn something from. So if I can go overseas and just travel and experience different gyms and maybe take something, even just in the gym, like a piece of equipment, or like how they design the gym. Like now these days, people are designing gyms with the thought of content behind it. So they soundproof the gym, and there's like acoustics to make it sound better. It's like those things, and aesthetically pleasing, so it looks better with content. It's like those things, the things I want to learn. So then when I have a gym, it's like I'm bringing the best possible product I can for my clients.
That's great. And I would give an advice to people is just maybe don't choose a gym for the gym itself, but maybe choose it for the people and for how you feel, like the energy that you feel from this gym coming out from it. Because that's how also you can feel more motivated to go there.
Definitely.
And you won't feel like, scared to go there. Thanks a lot. Where can we find you to train with you?
I'm in Bondi Junction Fitness First for anyone that's in Sydney, Australia. So that's in the east. I'm in the Westfield. I'm not the one outside of the Westfield, so don't go to that one. Otherwise, you can find me on Instagram, Coach Jackson Mansutti, and there's a link in my bio where you can book in a call with me and we can have a chat and we can go from there.
Very, very cool. Thanks a lot, Jackson. I enjoyed the conversation. I learned a lot. And good luck for everything.
Thank you. Appreciate it.